It's the WOW show, Women on Women, and I'm Shazmin Shamsuddin.
I'm Joanne Kampopo.
And I'm Ning by Zura.
It's really interesting because we're right here at Domitis Bangsar, redefining senior living with energy and style, and we were just actually
Rocking.
minutely
Interrupted
by a
by-
whole bunch of seniors
Yes.
dressed in their rocking
Rocker.
gear.
Rocking gear.
And
they're
rocking
like
to
line dancing.
Queen.
Into what? What?
We will.
Yes,
we
exactly
will
that.
rock you. They're doing that.
So as you can see, Domitis is really, really active.
I'm already planning my senior movement. Besides the masseurs,
Wow.
right? There's spa as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get them in,
it's only-
Joanne.
I'm
Afternoon.
sure.
Okay, well, while we contemplate, our future plans, I mean, you can't help but also consider that, we're closer to, I know this is a bit morbid, love, but let's face it, we're closer to the grave than we are when we were in our 20s. And sometimes facing your mortality is just a part of getting, older and
Who's the oldest
living
here?
life. You are.
Yeah.
She is.
Cepat. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going
You're
to
the
lie.
biggest mother.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
51.
Yeah.
I'll be 50 next month.
Okay lah, dekat-dekat lah.
It's all good, it's all good.
51. We're just like, we're the mother, Jo.
Betul kan? I'm always the mother, but
Yes.
I'm the mother that doesn't look like the mother.
Yes.
okay?
Yeah,
The-
she looks like the most
I'm
bujang
ADD.
one out of all of us.
No, it's all the nenen. It's the
Nenen.
power of the nenen. Itu je. Okay, but yeah, you were saying mortality.
Yeah.
It's at this age. I thought about. Well, to be honest, like Shaz, I didn't think about my mortality until I had my first heart attack, which was after MCO, and that's like maybe a year ago. Yeah. And the thing is, because I've got so many things, I have diabetes, I have high blood pressure, I have high cholesterol. I mean, you look at me, yes, it is true that bigger people have more conditions, but I never thought that I have heart issues until my first scan. It was like a silent heart attack. That's what
Anxiety,
the doctor.
all the anxiety.
Not
right?
really, because
No.
initially we thought that it was
But you
asthma.
didn't have that like one side like.
No, because
No?
I had chronic asthma and I
Right.
couldn't breathe.
Okay.
Right.
But 3 days prior to me checking into the hospital, I just thought it was my asthma. But I'm like, and I have a nebulizer at home, so I'm like, why is this not coming down?
Right.
Because the triggers
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
very similar to chronic asthma. You can't breathe and
Yes.
all that. And I didn't have like the symptoms where you can't feel your hand and all that. And when I checked in, initially they treated me for asthma.
Okay.
Then when I went back again, that's when they realized and they told me that my lungs were clear. And I said, if my lungs were clear, something else must be wrong. It was only after about 12 hours the next day they checked me in. They called the cardiac doctor and the asthmatic doctor, respiratory doctor together. And then they checked everything. I went CT scan and all that. And then my doctor said, okay, what you may have was those mild heart attack that has no symptoms, like it's not going to give you
Right.
and he feels that the 3 days that my breathing wasn't coming down was a sign, but because
You ignored it
I ignored it because I thought it was asthma.
because you thought you live forever, right?
No, because I had show, so deposit dah ambil.
Oh gosh.
Deposit dah
So you
ambil,
were
sis.
stressful as well lah. Is you working hard?
Because
Not
because
enough
we
sleep
just
or-
came out of MCO.
Right.
And for performers, Ning, I'm sure
Excited.
for performers, the minute we could do show, kita dah book show dah.
Yeah.
We book everything that
Yeah,
that we could book because for 2 years we couldn't do anything except do
Right.
online shows.
Yeah.
But just recently as well, like a couple of months ago, before my KL production of my anniversary show, I had another heart attack.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Which I know because I was like, okay, then I knew the symptoms. So for 2 days I was like, okay, ini asthma ke ini cardiac, ini asthma ke ini cardiac, and then because the symptoms were so similar, and after a few nebulizer, after 2 days, I was like, okay. At about close to midnight, I was like, okay, this is not asthma because if it's asthma, I've pumped enough medicine in me for it to either come down or for me to have jitters, but I should be able to breathe.
Right.
Then that's when I checked in to the general hospital, and one thing's good because like if you go in and if you say you're asthmatic or the fact that you may be having heart attack and you have the proof because from your previous one I have all the I say I think I'm going to have a heart attack. Right. So they checked you in immediately, and I was kept for observation for 3 days. Then the doctor said, okay, this could be silent. So I'm like, okay, ini dah dua dah. But one thing's good, it's not because it's also not a stroke. Okay, I could still talk. I could still have my mobility. So morality for me right now is I really need to take care of myself for the next 10 years. And I want to be able to have at least another 10 to 20 years.
Of course.
did you go for a checkup?
Yeah,
quite
of
often,
course.
just in case.
After that, I went back to my
You
doctor.
don't need any surgery, right?
No,
No,
I went
okay.
back to my doctor that took care of my cardiac earlier. So when I had my first attack, I went for an angiogram. They found out that there was 4 blockage. 4 blockage. But you see, after MCO, I mean, no one. People were just trying to survive. People were just trying to survive. You didn't know because there were so many things like you had COVID. Is this COVID? Am I getting COVID? Do I need to work? Okay, now that people are opening up their, the country is opening up for entertainers. Our first thing is let's just book shows.
Correct.
You don't think about, let's go and check if my heart is running okay. You know? You're like, as
be a
long as I
lesson.
can breathe,
Yeah.
okay, as long as aku boleh breathe, I can do show, I can hidup.
Okay.
You know?
But I'm interested to know, like, when you were sitting in the hotel, hospital, hospital room, and you just learned that this was a heart attack. What went through your head? I mean, you're a single mom.
Yes.
You have a teenage daughter who
Correct.
relies on you, has no
Well-
other family but you.
She's so used to me going to the hospital right now. She's like,
Yeah.
nah, ambil, let's go.
Yeah, so what went through your head? I mean, jokes aside.
Okay,
lah.
jokes aside, I have to. I'm right now planning. I'm actually. I have a list of what I want during my funeral.
Oh, wow.
Ke situ pula.
No, because I want it to be a happy occasion.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was thinking more on what were you thinking to, for you to get past the heart attack, get healthier,
okay,
and fitter.
okay, I plan my funeral first before I get healthy.
Okay, just in case, right?
You're
Just
so
in
morbid.
case.
Wow.
For somebody
No.
who's like a comedian.
Yeah, exactly. You plan everything.
Okay.
I've even written this in my anniversary show. First of all, my coffin is going to be glitter.
Ooh.
Because I cannot have Swarovski crystal, because if it's crystal, it will reflect my soul. It's very Chinese, very pantang. I can't even have my mirror ball, even though I want to.
Oh my.
But I want.
But
I want
glitter
it
is
to
fine.
be a party.
Okay.
Glitter is fine. Glitter is not crystals.
I've
So-
seen that in a movie, where they actually dress up and then
Yeah,
it's like,
kena dress up lah.
yeah.
I want everyone to dress up. Ning, you will sing, right? One
Can.
song. Must be the most drama song. And nobody can wear black because I will look
Ah,
slim
it's
in
colours.
black. Everyone must be colorful. And I will have a DJ party. I will have food. And
Okay.
it will not be mihun. It will not be mihun and
Yeah,
chicken
Shut up.
curry.
Food, what is it?
A suckling pig. I mean halal chicken.
Or something like that.
Yes, we call it halal chicken. Yes, wink wink.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll have an open bar.
All right. Well,
And
that's an
instead of-
incentive to go.
Yeah, and instead of an eulogy, I will have a stand-up comedy show.
All right.
You want people to celebrate you, lah.
Yes,
That's what you're saying.
yes.
Yeah.
And the comedy show will be called Come Last Time.
Sorry.
It won't be my comedy.
How apt.
Yes,
How
I have a
apt.
lot. I have a
Very.
pool. I've 10. So this whole thing, I'm putting it into a will, which one of my best friend's wife.
You're really making this
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, that's good. Because everything else, Jade is taken care of. Jade will
Right.
be taken care of. I mean, like, thank goodness for KWSP, kan?
Oh yes. Yeah.
And she will just, and with that, she can have her new life. And it will give her a sense of adulting. Because you, like with every complication that happens with me, I'm surprised I'm still here, you know. And
Somebody up there still loves you, honey.
Can maybe say, okay,
It's
this
true.
one ni kalau
You
datang
haven't lived your life to the
Yeah.
fullest
if
yet.
she comes, if she come out, she'll havoc. So maybe let her stay there for a while. But I am realistic that I want to have 10 more years.
Or more, more.
I want to have more, but right now, if I can just have 10 and more, I need to take care of my
Hence
health.
you are taking care of your food and-
Unfortunately, I love food. You can,
Aku
you
suka
tengok
food.
lah, aku
I
suka
used to
orang
love
tengok.
food,
We're
yeah.
Malaysians. How not to
Yeah.
love food? But there are certain things that I know that I've been stubborn about that I need to like really focus
Okay.
on. Yeah, that's a reality
Yeah.
check.
Were you scared at all?
Actually, you know the funny part, I wasn't scared. I was more like, I was so
Chill
naggy.
je.
Thank God I have a gay friend with me, kan?
Right.
And I was like, where am I going? Where are they putting me? You know, are they bringing me to cardiac department? They're bringing me to cardiac department. I do not want that old dato that is seeing, okay, my neighbor because he's so ugly. I said cannot. I said cannot. He's so ugly. I had a preference because that dato just, I mean, his patient is my next door neighbor, and I was
Right.
like, I'm like, no, cannot. I would, if I
It's
have a,
hunky lah, kan?
if I have a cardiac arrest, I'll be like, no need, don't resuscitate, you know, do not.
My goodness.
But
So dark.
Yeah.
So dark.
She is.
Yeah, but what's the funny part? Okay, right now because all my friends are around this age, so everybody's mom is getting sick or they themselves.
Yeah.
So apparently, my cardiac doctor, Dr. Imran, is one of the top 20 supposedly best-looking cardiac doctors.
Okay.
Cardiac doctors
Yeah.
in Malaysia.
Bukan cardiac
There is
doctor,
a
best
list.
looking.
Yeah.
20, he fit that.
Where does he
there
fall?
is a-
Number 3 or number 19?
I don't know. Apparently, there's a list.
Yeah.
Because there's another cardiac doctor, Chinese one over in
Handsome also,
another
Leng
hospital.
Chai
Also
also.
Leng Chai.
Oh,
So all
Leng
this.
Chai.
I'm sure it's in some, group somewhere that is
Okay.
circulating.
There's a list.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, yes, you can be morbid about it. I mean, but of course, me being a comedian, I need to see the funny side of it.
course.
And look, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen already. How it's going to happen, we don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can take care of myself better so I can prolong. And I think it's managing this. You know, how do we prolong your life extension?
Yeah.
You know, but I want to be going away laughing.
Okay.
That's
Well,
all I
it's
want.
interesting that you said that, you know, if it's terrible, like, you know, you don't want to be resuscitated. And I feel the same way because having had to deal with my mother's 8-month, 10-month bedside caring,
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that to my own kids. Okay. I said to myself a long time ago, if I were ever in the position where I was terminal or if, you know, was sick or, you know, was an accident or whatever, just, you know, take me off life support. I'll just go and you guys continue.
I think
You
that
know?
needs to be written as well. That's why
Yeah.
I'm writing it, so that it can kind of like be a will kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. So they know, like, okay, even if my friends want to do anything for me, these are the instructions. Yeah. Even in death, I'm producing.
Treasure hunt.
I know,
Ah,
right?
apa
You're
treasure
a
hunt?
control
Follow
freak.
the instructions.
Follow instruction.
Yeah.
This is
Control
what I
freak
want.
habis.
And I have people, I'm like, call this person for this, call this person for this. So yeah. So in
Wow.
a lot of sense, I don't have family. My family is my
Your
daughter.
friends are your
My friends are my
yeah.
family.
Right.
And it's good to be prepared,
yeah.
lah, Joanne. I mean, are you
Yeah.
prepared for the inevitable, Ning?
Honestly, not really. But every time I'm on flight, I was just telling you about it. I freak out whenever I have in the moment of air pocket or
Turbulence. Yeah.
turbulence or as you say, it happened when we went to Istanbul, me and Chris, and then Ryan and my mom. They're at home. They went on and on and on, and I was just holding on to his hand. And I said, "Is this how we're gonna go?" At least we hold each other's hands, lah. And then we were thinking of the MH,
The other
accident
tragedies.
flight, yes. And then we thought, at least they'll find us holding hands together. Are you serious? Okay, mengucap now. I said,
Yeah.
I mean, that was the only moment that I thought, you know. But and then my mom got sick. She got asthma, and then I was thinking, because she being Muslim and all that, right? But she converted, so she asked me, which was a really hard thing. I mean, for my mother to ask me, she said, if I die, you just I mean, I'm just saying this, I'm sharing, right? But please, don't make it viral. She said, you just throw my ashes in the sea and whatever. No, I said, Ma, how? I'm Ning by Zura. I said, I cannot lah. It's going to be like, why don't I, I'll just find you a nice place to. No. And she was insisting. And I said, wow, how? If you want to make somebody's. And I was thinking, oh my God. And I've seen a lot of people, I never
Go
thought
through
of
this,
it.
yeah.
Just honestly, I got goosebumps now.
Yeah.
But if it ever happens, we've already done our will.
Okay.
Finally, after that flight, we landed safely.
Hello, right?
Yeah, the thing is, in Islam, is a bit different, kan?
Yes.
So you can, luckily, kita ada anak lelaki.
Yeah.
If we have a son, then it goes straight. Yeah. If you have a daughter, the daughter's going to be the last. The wife is worse, the last.
Oh, yes,
After
yes,
all
I've
the
heard
children.
about it.
Yeah.
So there's Sharia law, kan?
Yeah.
And then I went like, oh, okay, sayang, but you have to name me, or else it's gonna go to
Yeah.
everybody else,
And then you're
I'll
last.
be the last. So, I mean, but I never thought, if I go, I just same thing, because I'm an entertainer. I just want people to sing. I just want people to like, not really have a party,
Mine
but
different.
We can have
But-
a line dance by the swimming pool
Yeah,
here.
You can have line dance.
I mean, I just think that it's nice to have a tribute. But then again, why do you have to do a tribute only after you've gone?
Yeah.
I think somebody should do a tribute for us. We're still alive.
It might happen just
I mean,
yet.
like,
So mortality is, for me, is just still a big. I'm still in denial, lah. Let's just put
Really?
it this way. Honestly,
Okay.
it's the first time I've confessed. Actually, I'm still
Yeah.
like, okay, aku sakit. But when I had COVID, I was fine. Everybody else was sick. The whole family was sick. I'm going, why am I fine? Because everybody's like coughing. Maybe I'm just gonna go silently
Yeah.
while I'm sleeping. I would rather die in my sleep, Choi.
That
But
is,
if
of
that
course,
happens,
the
it's the
easiest.
easiest. But then it's not our choice, kan?
Yeah.
So I mean, kalau aku buka mulut nyanyi tiba-tiba heart attack pun tak apa jugalah. You know, at least I'm still like, like.
Key. Reach key dulu.
yang
Reach the
penting.
key dulu.
Yeah.
Penting.
I've had so many brushes with death that I'm actually not afraid of dying. I'm just worried about things that are left undone
Right.
when I'm gone
What happens
that will
next?
affect my
Everyone
children
else.
and everyone else.
Yeah.
Like when I was at university, I got hit by a car on a crosswalk.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, hit by a car. I was walking. And I was flung like a few,
You're still alive.
18 meters away.
have,
Yeah.
like,
Do you have any issues?
I was in physiotherapy for 6 months, basically
You taught yourself
learning how to walk again. Yeah. I didn't break a single bone in my body though. I landed on my head and I could have
my
gone
goodness. You
brain
could have
dead.
It's like in the movies.
Yeah, but I
brain
honestly
trauma.
feel that an angel basically,
Wow.
basically just cushioned me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any broken bones. I was like a rag doll
That's
flying in the air.
amazing.
And I was half the size I was, so I was literally thrown off. So that's one. That was
Yeah.
in my youth. And then, of course, in 2019, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Luckily, I caught it early, but, the treatment for that went on for a year. And it's still ongoing, but, I'm in remission now. And even though the thought of me not being around anymore wasn't as I guess ketara as if, let's say, you were involved in an accident. That one's more immediate, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
just last year, this time around, last year, I had the worst asthma attack I've ever had in my life.
We all have asthma.
So you got chronic asthma. as
Yes, yes. And
We should- we
I
should
blame it on the
bring
haze.
out our pumps and show everyone.
I have it. It's right there. But yeah, I was luckily a friend of mine who lived in my neighborhood was quick enough to pick me up and zoom me to Sungai Buloh Hospital,
Yeah.
where they've got an amazing, emergency
So
room team.
I had asthma
Yeah.
when I was much younger, when I was 9 years old, and then at some point, I don't know what happened. My mother was running this like a disabled center in Cheras. Okay, that time it was called like Taman or whatever in Cheras lah. And then I was hanging out with so many different types of patients, from like autistic to everything lah, Parkinson, blah 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 blah. So I feel like they're my friends, and I was like hanging out and playing, with them and all that. And I thought, okay lah, if anything happens to me, I'll probably be, in one of the centers or whatever. But I would rather just like habis macam tu je, like you said,
yeah.
than
Not linger.
to like, unless if I'm on a life support ke apa, better just.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah,
can never predict how we're going to
Exactly.
No, you can't.
You think that.
But it's good to think
yeah.
about it, and it's good that you brought it up. And I'm not like, at least I have to think about it now because
Well-
I'm approaching 50 and whatever not. But when I'm flying, when I'm traveling, that's when I'm worried. It's the long haul flights that makes me like.
I think
I cringe.
somewhat different from you two
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
of course, I've struggled with depression for a while. I mean, I'm not debilitated by it, but I do have a preoccupation with death, thinking about death. Oh, and
You're
it's
like a cat.
it's not a bad
off.
or negative thing. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I can't wait because then then I'm free from. I know.
But it's
it sounds
good
a
that
bit
you
crazy,
actually
but
reflect and you
yeah,
look
I'm okay
above
with this.
and-
I'm
yeah.
at peace with it. But at the same time, it's like everyone has their preparation. I've
Yeah.
not done my will yet, so I should be doing that. But I've
Yeah.
sorted out all my EPF
Yeah.
and who should get what.
Yeah, maybe we should talk together. Like maybe
Yeah.
can get the buy 2 free 1 package.
Yeah,
Ada.
I do.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I guess like being prepared is one thing. Not paying.
Yeah.
For me, I try not to think about.
You can't,
death
yeah,
so
but
much
you
because
can't brush it under the carpet because you have
Yeah.
to
Prepare.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I think for a lot of people, especially women who are struggling financially, when they kind of experience a health crisis, it can be a very,
Very
terrible
depressing.
thing.
Aiyo, yeah.
What would your advice be for someone who finds himself in that position?
Seek help. There's so many, I
Well,
think
help is one thing.
Yeah.
It's also finding the people who I
can help
think
you, right?
what is finding people that you care about and making
Trust.
sure
Yeah,
that they know,
yeah.
and also don't waste time. And I think a lot of people just presume like, okay, it's not going to happen yet. It's not going to happen yet until if it happens, you don't know whether it's going to be quick or whether it's going to be lingering. If it's lingering, you can still make, and I think it's also about connecting to the people that you want in your life. Because I'm sure there are people that you're like, okay, I'm going to get to them,
Yeah.
I haven't talked to whether it's family or what. But perhaps the best time is just to be prepared that if it happens, then this is the roll call.
Okay.
Just to have a roll call.
Make
so
peace lah.
yeah, make peace, because a lot of times I
You have
feel
no regrets, right?
yeah,
That's
you have regrets, or people are left with like, oh my goodness, is this what she wants?
Yeah.
But also just think about living the next 10 to 20 years,
Yeah.
because we love.
Yes.
I
Living
love
our life to
food
the
so
fullest,
much that yes, it has become detrimental to my
Yes.
health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you take little wins and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, you have to ask yourself,
Yeah.
like, is this what I want to be doing if I want to survive 10 more years, 15 more years, 20 years, I need to really, really look at
Yeah.
my
Changing.
situation.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to change, or you feel like, because some people, it's like if changing means losing being alive, and I can understand that, then what is the next best intermediate thing you can do to still feel alive, but compromise to a certain degree where you yourself like, okay, I'm going to cut off this, but I will do this.
Well, I have advice for those of you who are still young and, are thinking about getting insurance, health insurance, life insurance.
God.
Do
Do-
it while you're
oh
young.
my God,
Oh, yeah, my
do
mother
it while
doesn't
you're
have,
young.
okay?
And don't
Do it
lapse on
now.
payment because, you
Exactly.
think it's nothing now in your 20s, but by the time you reach our age, which
Even
is
paying
40
for
plus,
KWSP.
yes.
RM ke, 10 ringgit ke,
Because
is
you
still
will get the
going
benefits
to-
much later.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
having insurance helped me through my
Safety.
cancer
Yeah.
treatment and everything. It would have cost me hundreds of thousands of ringgit. So please, consider insurance
That's
and
very,
don't
very
let it lapse.
My cardiac as well.
Yeah.
If not,
Yeah.
like 70,000, where am I going to get the money?
Yeah.
And even though I lapsed, okay, because I took the insurance when I was in Singapore, when I was in 21, 22, 23. So basically, certain insurance plan, even though you're lapsed,
you
you
can
can
renew.
still renew. And because it was the renewal that saved me. If not, coming out of MCO, I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, how did I possibly?
In my case, my mother doesn't. She's a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Until today, she doesn't have
Insurance.
Tak ada, and it's too late. I mean, when she got her first serious accident when she was like 17, it's too late already.
Yeah.
And I kept asking everywhere,
Yeah, it's
tak ada.
at that age, tak ada.
Tukang Fulke 10 years ago, it wasn't as active, and so any
As-
accident
yeah,
happened to
kan?
her, it's like she had an accident with a finger, and I mean, I had to pay 30K just like that. It
Wow.
was like, yeah, I mean, of course, kalau I pergi hospital kerajaan, it'll be like maybe RM300 or
Kan.
RM3,000 je lah. But at that point, I was just thinking, I'm gonna give the best for her. It's like no
Yeah.
matter what, it's still her thumb, and she's still alive, and I just wanna. And I called my husband. I went, shit, shit. I love her. Anything can happen, right? But so, I mean, that's it lah. So life saving is very,
Yeah.
very important if you have
Yeah.
insurance. But luckily now I can actually claim with KWSP, and I didn't even know. So because the hospital bill alone wasn't 30, dah lah you pergi hospital macam yang happening, macam high class
Kan,
dekat
kan,
sini
high
kan. Tak payah
class,
cakap
kan,
lah.
kan.
Sebab dekat dengan rumah. And then dia pun cakap dengan I, wow, this is like, so if you want this one, so I really don't like when you're like,
When they upsell.
yeah, so
They
I
orang
want
upsell.
this one, the harga is like this. Okay lah, C macam tu. Takkan I nak ambil A terus. Mahal weh. Oh, lepas tu dia cakap, 10 minutes later, oh sorry, dah penuh that ward. Huh? Okay, so take the second, pun dah penuh. I feel like, aku shopping ke apa ni?
A lot of people in the wards.
I'm like, yeah. And I said, are you sure there's a lot of people? I can actually go upstairs. No, really, we're full.
Oh, no.
And I felt
They're
like,
full.
okay,
They're
is this a
always
scheme
full.
or what?
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
macam I had no choice, but still for my mother. And yeah, and she doesn't have insurance. And
Okay.
it was a lot.
Well, I'm sorry this was morbid, but you know what?
I mean, we need to understand and know, right?
Yeah. Thinking about your mortality is something we all do. Don't let it get it down.
Yeah.
Live in the
It's
moment.
normal, yeah.
But prepare for
I think just
the
prepare.
inevitable.
Prepare.
Lesson learned for me.
Yeah.
All right.
And buy insurance when you're young.
Yeah.
There you go. Great advice. Well, ladies, I guess that's a wrap. This is
The Wow Show.